Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever stopped to think about how many photos you see in a single day? Scrolling through your feed, snapping a pic of your lunch, FaceTiming a friend. It's literally thousands. We're so used to capturing moments instantly, but have you ever wondered how it all started? Who was the genius who first figured out how to freeze a moment in time? Well, today we're going on a journey back in history to find out who invented the very first camera. It's a story more complex and fascinating than you might think. Let's set the scene. Before photography, the only way to capture a likeness was through painting or drawing, which took immense skill and a lot of time. The idea of capturing an image using light, what we call camera obscura, had been around for centuries. Think of it as a dark room with a tiny hole that projects an upside-down image of the outside world onto a wall. Artists used this to trace scenes accurately, but the image was temporary. It vanished as soon as the light was gone. The real challenge, the Holy Grail, was figuring out how to make that projected image permanent. This is where our main character enters the story, a French inventor named Nicephore Niepce. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Niepce was obsessed with this challenge in the early 1800s. He experimented with all sorts of materials, trying to find a substance that would react to light and hold an image. He tried paper coated with silver salts, but the images faded quickly. He needed something more stable. After years of trial and error, around 1826 or 1827, Niepce had his breakthrough. He used a pewter plate coated with a naturally occurring asphalt, called bitumen of Judea. He placed this plate inside a camera obscura box and pointed it out the window of his upstairs workroom at his country estate in France. And then, he waited, and waited, and waited some more. The exposure time wasn't a fraction of a second like our phones today. It's estimated to have taken at least 8 hours, and possibly even a couple of days. The result was a blurry, grainy, but history-making image. It's now famously known as View from the Window at La Grasse. It's not exactly an Instagram-worthy shot, but it is the world's first ever permanent photograph. Niepce had done it. He had captured a real-world scene, using only light and chemistry. He called his process heliography, which means sunwriting. How cool is that? But Niepce's story doesn't end there. His process was incredibly slow, and not very practical. Soon after, he partnered with another Frenchman, Louis Daguerre. Daguerre was a painter and a showman, and he was also fascinated by capturing images. Together, they worked to improve the process. Sadly, Niepce passed away before they could perfect it. Daguerre continued the work, and eventually created a much more practical method, the daguerreotype. This process used a polished silver plate and mercury vapor, and it cut the exposure time down from hours to just a few minutes. This was the invention that really made photography explode in popularity in the 1840s. So, who invented the first camera? While many contributed to the science behind it, the credit for taking the world's very first photograph goes to Nicephore Niepce. He laid the foundation. Louis Daguerre then built upon that foundation and made photography accessible to the world. From Niepce's blurry 8-hour exposure to the super sharp 8K video on the device you're re-watching this on, it's been an incredible journey. Every photo you take is a part of that legacy. What do you think is the most important photograph ever taken? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this little trip back in time, forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories behind the tech we use every day. See you in the next one.